Hello. Today we'll be telling you the history of Rosa Parks. So take it away.
I certainly will. Rosa Parks was a lifelong civil rights activist whose refusal to surrender her bus seat in 1955 became the catalyst for the Montgomery bus boycott known as the mother of the civil rights movement. Her legacy extends far beyond that single day, encompassing decades of work for racial and sexual justice. Wanna know what happened at the bus? Well, on the evening of December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks was riding the Cleveland Avenue bus in Montgomery, Alabama, when a confrontation with the driver led to her historic arrest. The seat. Parks was sitting in the 11th row, the first row of the colored section, next to a black man and across from two black women. The conflict, when the bus became crowded at the Empire Theater stop. The white section filled up. Driver James F. Blake ordered all 4 passengers in Parks' row to stand so one white man could sit. The refusal, while the other 3 passengers eventually moved. Parks refused. Contrary to legend, she was not physically tired from work, but later stated she was tired of giving in to injustice. The arrest. Blake threatened to have her arrested. Parks calmly replied, "You may do that." Blake called the police, and 2 officers arrived to take her into custody. The previous grudge. Parks had specifically avoided Blake's bus for 12 years after he had once forced her off for refusing to use the rear door. She did not realize he was the driver until after she boarded. What happened after her arrest? Well, let's go to number 1. The boycott begins. Activists, including Joanne Robinson of the Women's Political Council, stayed up all night printing 35,000 flyers calling for a one-day bus boycott on December 5th, the day of Parks' trial. The boycott was so successful that leaders formed the Montgomery Improvement Association, MIA, and elected a young Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as their president to extend the protest indefinitely. Number 2. The legal battle. On December 5th, Parks was found guilty of disorderly conduct and fined $14. However, her legal team, led by Fred Gray, used the case to challenge the constitutionality of segregation itself. While her specific criminal appeal stalled, a parallel federal case, Browder v. Gale, eventually reached the Supreme Court, which ruled in November 1956 that segregated buses were unconstitutional. Number 3. Personal hardship. The victory came at a massive personal cost. Both Rosa and her husband, Raymond, lost their jobs due to their involvement. They faced constant death threats and harassment, which eventually forced the couple to leave Alabama and move to Detroit, Michigan in 1957 to seek safety and work. Number 4. Lifelong activism. In Detroit, Parks remained a force in the movement. Political career. She worked for U.S. Representative John Conyers for over 20 years. Youth mentorship. She founded the Rosa and Raymond Parks Institute for Self-Development in 1987. National honors. In 1999, she received the Congressional Gold Medal, the highest civilian honor in the U.S. So the lesson here was, racism is unfair and should be challenged with dignity. Stand up by sitting down for what is right, even if you are just one person. Refusing to follow an unfair rule can lead to big changes. Courage doesn't have to be loud. Rosa wasn't a loud or angry person. She was quietly powerhouse. She showed that you can be brave through calm, firm actions. And her story teaches that no matter what someone looks like, they deserve the same respect and the same seat at the table or on the bus. So take this from me. Treat everyone equally.